the first thing when we see news or something we perceive, what comes in our mind that we want it to be true. Internet literacy is something which India has not achieved so much.
Like the news that is not fake, that is true, but somehow they that serve some kind of agenda. And not
Exactly.
only that, the author of the news or the reporter, they personally have agenda, but they want some catchy. So now everything is based on the clicks. So whatever they get paid, it's based on the clicks. So it has to be, every news has to be a breaking news. Every news has to trigger the pulse, trigger
Yeah,
the
yeah.
audience. So they are kind of distorting the truth.
But the unfortunate thing is that the mainstream media which comes on television on a prime time, if these media starts spreading false information, then there is nothing to do.
Hi guys, this is AP. Welcome to Land. This is our welcome to our lifestyle podcast. We're going to talk about society and our perspectives on it and all other stupid stuff that's going on in our news currently. Today we have with us Onrag. Uh,
Hi, I'm back
Hi
again.
Onrag. Onrag is back again. Onrag, for anyone who's watching new, Onrag is working at Rambol UK and my friend from the college undergrad. We also have with us Zishan. Zishan,
Hello.
Zishan is looking hello. Zishan is looking like a corporate boss and is also my friend from the college. We're going to talk about fake news and society. But before that, uh, I should ask anyone who's watching to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. The links are all in the description. You can go there and have a look. That's all. That's all we ask. That's it. Back to the topic: fake news and society. So, what
Zishan
are you
looks
guys?
like a proper panelist.
Zishan looks like someone who's taking our jury. কোনো কাজই করোনি তো।
So is this podcast about roasting me or fake news? I mean, I am sure
this
about
podcast this
Yeah,
podcast
I was I
is
was
a fun
complimenting
episode.
you. Yeah, yeah.
So about fake news and society. So if we dig right into the topic, it's about like with the advent of social media, with the proliferation of social media devices, Reliance Geo, I think it's easier to reach masses and it's easier to spread information. So misinformation, no, it's easier to spread. Like it's not like always. Obviously, there's a section of fake news which is directed to influence people from probably like people who have power to do so, people who want to do so, people have the motive to do so. But even like something like a superstition or something like a random person would have shared their সকালে উঠে আমলা জুস খান তাহলে আপনার সারা জীবন খুশি থাকবে, even something like that can probably like spread in WhatsApps and it probably my father next like your father is drinking gomutra, something like that. So like this kind of fake news, it's not always like a political misleading sort of thing as well, but it's like it's happening there without like people are not getting vaccinated for that kind of stuff. Like even in the US, it's not just like India that's getting like damaged. The society is getting spread with misinformation. So, Omra, what's your take on it, or how do you see it? Let's say.
So I think this is happening because somehow uh, the media has now been decentralized. Previously, it was just two or three organizations who used to control the news, and also there were quality checks. But now, anyone, you, me, or anyone living any part of the world can just create news and share it. And because we have uh, whatever, anything, we have. Uh, we have this Facebook, Twitter, and anything, and it can spread like wildfire. So, so this is what. And what do you mean by like fake news? Uh, like some of the things are actually good. So some of the information might be good, and probably many people who are spreading this fake news, they think that this would actually help them, but in the end, it's not. So there is no way to tell that this is a how to control it. There's no way to control it. I think this is we have to live with it.
Yeah, uh, yeah, true. I mean, that's probably the case, but like it's yeah, it's not controlling fake news is obviously a like separate aspect of it. Like, how do you control? And that's probably
Mm-hmm.
the major aspect of it. But like, what I personally feel is the realization that any news can be fake, and like even the things that you have trusted, even if the things like probably you have considered universal. I mean, look, even
Mm.
like when Galileo said that the earth doesn't rotate, like earth rotates and the sun doesn't rotate around the sun, around the earth, that was considered probably as fake news because that was a universal
Yeah,
truth then. So even universal truths can be probably like fake and cannot be like concrete about, they're not cannot be concrete. So like this realization has personally made me very cynical about anything. Like you can tell
exactly.
me like, okay, this is what happens and this is what happens,
Mm-hmm.
pray for this, or I mean like what
Mm-hmm.
will happen anyway. Like it might be
Mm-hmm.
true, it might be not. So
Yeah, I
so
guess for a long time I used to think that whatever I read, that is true. That has to be true. And that was
yeah,
before this mass media, these things are happening. So the change happened. So when we were in college, you remember regarding our Shibpur college, there used to be so much news. And we who are living in the campus, we knew for sure that those are totally uh, not true. So that was the
yeah,
realization. Okay, whatever you see in normal news, also that's not always true. So that was the understanding. I think everyone is to realize. Okay, yeah, sorry, carry on. Yeah.
yeah, no, no problem. Like that's I was asking, I'm going to ask the same thing to Zishan. So okay, this did you have this realization? Okay, what I'll do, I don't know, will it like, is it fake, is it, should I pass on this message, is it like, do I have to fact check, how do I do it, like because yeah, so like you get the point.
Yeah. So before thinking about fact check, the first thing when we see news or something we perceive, what comes in our mind that we want it to be true. If we are sharing something to with our friends or maybe with our families, the first intuition which we go through is that we want that news to be true, and this is the case for the majority of population. If I'm sharing that UNESCO, this has been a popular fake news around that UNESCO has declared Diwali as a, there was a picture of Diwali taken from
Best
space, and
holiday.
UNESCO, yeah, it
Uh-huh.
was apparently it was declared the best image of the world. So eventually there were people who wanted this news to be true, and without doing the fact check they just shared it with their loved ones. So this is the first thing. Then uh, recently, I mean, the stages which we have seen that people have been using social media for how many? I mean, if we see deeply, it's not more than 10 years. I mean, social media itself is something which you need to learn how to use it and how to perceive it. So if you see a child and a young guy who has been using for internet for a long period of time, if a child sees something on internet, he believes it. He thinks this is on internet, somebody should have done a background research, or and then afterwards he has put in this thing on net. So in majority they are likely to believe that stuff. But when you interact with a guy or a person who has been using internet for a long period of time, he usually go for a background check. He looks for other sources whether this news is correct or not. Maybe this is the case for ourselves also. We also look, if we see any kind of information before sharing, most of us we do background research. But
Hmm.
internet literacy is something which India has not achieved so much, and it needs to be it needs to be done actually.
Yeah,
So
so
this problem is not only with
yeah,
the children, Just want to add
Yeah.
for the older generation also who are just new to the internet, just getting
Yes,
their WhatsApp
definitely.
installed.
Yeah.
They are also like getting like bombarded with fake news, and they're spreading it wherever they can.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Like, Amar Badite, like my mother, like gets on and does these things. Like one day, I randomly see her doing this ashan because some randomly like yeah, amla khele and all that. Yeah, like the thing is, that this is happening obviously. But what I liked about what Zishan said was that that thing where we want to be true. We share it because people want
Right.
it to be true. People, it supports their narrative and their way of seeing things, right? And
Mhm.
so, is this kind of like ultimately boils down to that education, that what you teach to kids is about like perspectives and stuff, is about empathy and stuff, trying to get different perspective, because that's what I see, like people who vehemently believe in something like, this is what happened, this is what happened, and look at it, Rahul Gandhi, fuck you Rahul Gandhi, like you're gonna like Pappu, and that's what even like people who are like vehemently against Modi and all, like what we see is like it's just that they either they don't see the different perspective, or I get like people who have a motive behind it. They're smart enough. They don't fall prey to it. Even they
Mhm.
might in some way or the other, but it's not in such a huge scheme of things. They don't get affected by it, right? That much. But other people who's like taking in fake news and just like for no reason believing it and then arguing about it, like getting up their blood pressures high and everything, like just going in a fake news. So that's what I feel like. How do you tackle that? Like, is there just I mean, is there anything that the social media companies can do to check it? I am seeing some actions by them, but like not much, obviously. So, or is does it boil down to education, trying to teach kids that okay, this is the reality. This is the reality can be gray. It's not binary and all that. That's probably the major thing. But how can the social media companies help?
Just rather than just going jump into the conclusion or the solution, I'll just add to what the conversation is, that we are actually all are biased in some way or the other.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
as so like when we were studying architecture, we used to this have this messages, right? UNESCO has told that architecture is the
toughest.
toughest exam. So like and some of my friends who were in medical, they used to have the same message and also the same template. They used to have the same template, similar
Even
with the
engineers.
other engineers, same thing. So and because we wanted, okay, we are working so much, we want. So that's why we used to propagate this belief among ourselves, and it was much later on that we understood, no, these were all bullshit. And that's the same thing, I think, with the political motivated news that we have. But the problem is that there it becomes, they make it more personal, and
Yeah,
it's always, it triggers. And also this fake news are always somehow uh, only the news that actually triggers, those only propagates much faster. So that's how
yeah.
it spreads.
And that's how they market as well. Like that's how even like look like a better way to market this would be like Modi ne kaha ye, and then like we
Yeah,
say like irony, fake news. Like,
yeah.
it would be a good way to market, and probably slightly cheeky, slightly cute
Mm,
as well for this context.
Yes,
But yeah,
recently there was an article about a research which which was done by MIT, I guess, a few years ago. So it actually gave a very interesting insight that fake news spreads 3 times or 4 times faster than the real news. So be, without checking anything, people, they, because they want to believe it, they just share it. So it is not only that. There are certain organizations and people who have a proper business model. They don't care about the false information, because they have a set of agendas, and they are earning good amount of money from that. So for following those orders and earning money, they are doing that. So earlier there was
Yeah, it's a
no
full-fledged
such.
industry.
Yes, yes. So earlier, there were very few organization which used to, go through background check and, whatever information was on social media. But nowadays, there are few, or especially like companies like Boom and IT organization. Uh, they are doing the research, and they are, identifying those bots. So. I mean, the situation has been a little better, but I don't think it's fully controlled.
Yeah, true. Like, because like there's like what is fake news? I think like even like distorting the truth. That's the tag. What the tagline says. Like, what is truth? And like if you go into that details of things, it boils down to like everything boils down to your narrative. Like whether like even our history, we see a certain amount of things. What I even said about the universal truth might not be the absolute truth and everything. So like people can propagate a story in any way is it's possible. Like it is like if this was a lifestyle podcast, I would have said fake news in society. If this was a political podcast, I would have said how fake news, how Modi is spreading fake news. If this was like a sports podcast, I would have probably done something different. How fake news affected Virat Kohli and probably say the same thing. And so the thing about narrative is also pretty interesting. That how also, by the way, Zishan, I would like to ask you this: like, was that this MIT study was it a fake news in itself?
No, no, no.
Might be.
I have checked up this. It wasn't a fake news. Actually, it was funded by Twitter, and
Okay.
MIT. This organization which conducted this research, they had, full access to all the data of Twitter, and whatever tweets uh, had been made throughout the history of Twitter. They had all, access to that. So there were some uh, funding behind that, especially from
Mm-hmm.
Twitter. So
Yeah. So it was, yeah, it was just like an observation that that's happening. The things
yeah,
that's fake are spreading faster, and the message spread faster as well. Probably the only true message that's probably spreading faster if then if that's
Coming
the
to
case.
the point of your distorting truth, like the news that is not fake, that is true, but somehow they that serve some kind of agenda. And not
Exactly.
only that, the author of the news or the reporter, they personally have agenda, but they want some catchy. So now everything is based on the clicks. So whatever they get paid, it's based on the clicks. So it has to be, every news has to be a breaking news. Every news has to trigger the pulse, trigger
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
audience. So they are kind of distorting the truth, and maybe there has been many instances maybe they haven't seen the whole video but just saw the clip, and they have been reported based on the clip on the and they have made a story about it.
Yeah.
So it's
The whole Sushant Singh
it's
Rajput saga is the one that comes up to my
yeah,
mind.
yeah, wow, that was a
Yeah.
very, like, that actually made a YouTube career of so many people.
Yeah.
Like there were so many people, they were just surviving on those stories, and they were having so
Yeah.
like करो, सुशांत के लिए like करो,
सुशांत के लिए लाइक
5,000
करो,
like.
वोट दो सुशांत के लिए.
Vote,
in
vote
in
though,
in a place
like.
where Sushant Singh Rajput never has been ever set foot उधर पे whatever, like, yeah, that's a narrative, right? Like somehow, like I see Sushant Singh Rajput's death being used as against Bollywood, being used as against like the producers of Bollywood, the actors of Bollywood, against liberals in general. Some from there, it went to Riya Chakravarti, it went to weed, it went to liberals smoke weed, it went to Rahul Gandhi's Pappu. So these narratives shift, and like, and I don't know, like even the liberal group were fighting back in some way, this and in there and that. But like these narratives are propagated by social media. Earlier what happened was there were like a select few, the royals who owned media houses and news channels and everything, and they're the ones who said that today we are going to war, today we're okay, fine, that's what news is. Nobody got the reason why. Then we started getting the news, but again, like it was very centralized. It was like 3 or 4 newspaper that outlets that probably doing it, media companies, large media companies. Now everybody's doing it. and now everybody is doing multiple versions of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, do we need, sometimes I think, do we need kind of an algorithm, since algorithms are the problem? Like there's like some, obviously can't devise an algorithm that, otherwise we would have solved society. If we could have properly created an algorithm that could only filter out the truth and everything, we don't even ourselves know what is the truth. So
That's
do
also
we, is
kind of
that,
scary. That's also kind of scary. It's like this: the people who are making the algorithms, they have the complete power, and they
yeah,
might believe that whatever they are doing is for the good, but that might not be. They might also be partial to the. So, for example, like Twitter has banned Donald Trump. Yes,
yeah,
there has been, like, Donald Trump is not the ideal person, but I don't think that if you really talk about freedom, that's not.
yeah,
It's just a personal opinion,
yeah,
but his opinion also matters, and not only matters to a large amount of people who has voted him once, and this time also he might have got. It was a very narrow chance.
so do you think
So
like, but technically, do you think like, if I constantly spread fake news, and that's like, but like, yeah, yeah, here's the problem, right? There's almost been a legitimization of this uh distorting of this truth narrative thing, propagating a different narrative thing with the economics of it. 'Cause that's what we need, that's what media companies need to survive, that's what the TRP game is right now. What can we do? We
yeah,
are competing with Big Boss and all that. We are not competing with like anyone else, like. So there's almost been a legitimization of it, and it's kind of okay. For me, it's kind of okay when it comes to harmless things, like I don't know, like I don't know, we saw a cat doing this stuff, and some
yeah,
distorting the like a cobra bites this chef after his head cut off. I think some of you shared just like, so like this. I don't know if this is true, I don't know if this is not, but this is sensationalization of something that's okay, fine. That's a 1 minute read. I'll probably click it and watch the video. 2 minutes of my life wasted. That's it.
mhm,
But then there's this line when like there's hate speech, and then there's like people, there's things that causes violence. But even when you look at, when you made a good point about that Donald Trump caused a lot of, probably incited a lot of anger and violence among people, and that probably led to the capital riots
mhm,
and all those things
mhm,
in here. And
mhm.
that's why they flagged Donald Trump's account.
Yeah,
But then, how do you control the fact that overall it might not just be one Donald Trump speech? It might be a reason of a lot of things that they have probably progressively seen throughout their lives, and
yeah.
that's why, because I would have seen Donald Trump's
It's
speech and
true.
I wouldn't
Like,
have cared.
yeah, I guess for that time it was very necessary to block him, but he was now also he is blocked, right? Now
Yeah,
also he's not.
I'm guessing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
he's
not seen any meme pages, so posting
yeah,
it. I think so.
but yeah, yeah, and then nothing is happening. Major things.
Yeah,
We are not
probably.
getting any news, so I think he is
Yeah,
blocked only. But it scares me because now this organizations like Facebook and Twitter have the most power, and as days goes, they would also consolidate those powers and all. Today they are actually using it for the betterment of the society. Today we know that what they need to do, but maybe one day they would start abusing that power. So it's kind of a scary place that we are in.
yeah, and kind of scary. Yeah, I would like
Yeah.
to Zishan this next thing. Another perspective of distorting the truth is the fact that there are a lot of meme pages now, and that's what like we get our news from meme pages. Even the large startup companies are all trying memes. Like we all see Durex, and probably Amul started it. I have to say. But then like but then like now it's like Zomato and everything trying to market with whatever funny, whatever is viral right now. So with these meme pages, it's almost like there are a lot of different types of humor that goes around, and sometimes like people would do a super level of sarcasm and probably say something that they don't mean, but it's like humor, and some people get it and some people don't, and some people probably believe that as well. Okay, if I say like with a like, Jai Shri Ram and everything, some people can probably think that they will associate me with a bhakt and probably not get it, or even like if they get it, they will probably be associated with the Librandu or all that thing, slightly political about it. So, like, do you think even humor has to draw a line like somewhere? Like, even meme pages has to take up a little bit of responsibility, or everything is allowed in humor? Because that's my take. But like, what's your take on it?
I reckon that meme pages are meant for fun. I mean, I'm not against memes, but it's totally upon the user and the person who is consuming that content. So if I'm suppose I see a meme on Instagram, it it is solely the responsible of that person that you do not take that information granted. I mean, if you see a meme, you might like it, you might not like it, but try to take that as a meme only, but don't consider it the full whole information, or don't perceive any idea from that one picture, because one picture can't teach you everything. You need to read, you need to go through other sources, learn what are the reasons for that incident, or maybe whatever the context of that image is. If that particular meme is based on a movie, and there are different types of memes, so if it is only for fun, then there is no issue. But I mean, if it is if it is giving us particular message through that meme, then it is the responsibility of that person to check and to learn about the history, and the consequences, what might be the consequences if you share that meme, how you can be branded, because branding people in India is something which has come out now. Because as you said, if I am sharing a particular type of memes, then people will brand me, people will tell that, yeah, this guy is something, maybe liberal, or maybe right wing, or maybe
Yeah.
left wing. So it
Yeah.
will depend on your me, but it might be that you are sharing it only for fun, but there may be consequences of that. So it is really important to go through, to research about that, and to you the the ultimate thing is, you cannot get overall information from one picture. So you need to do a research, which is very important. And another thing I want to say, that if you don't like to do research, and if you don't like to read, so there are several apps where you will get similar kind of stuff, but that those facts are checked. So there are other platforms where you can get information without going through a whole lot of information, going through a whole lot of pages to study that. So in shorts, for example, that is one app where you can get information. But the unfortunate thing is that the mainstream media which comes on television on a prime time, if these media starts spreading false information, then there is nothing to do. We are very much aware of that. We see these kind of incidences within 3 or 4 months every year, because
Yeah.
you might have heard about this chip in 2000 rupee का note, जो जिसको अगर जमीन में गाड़ दो तो 3000 फीट की गहराई तक you will get the information where these roads are. And later on, after some time, 1 week or 2 week later, they'll come again on whatever time they wish, and they'll just simply apologize, which nobody has seen. So the harm has been done, but uh, this has become something, this is very unfortunate, but this is the truth. So consumers need to verify.
Yeah, but like, but the thing is that mainstream media doesn't really do a fake news on, like, have you observed this, or like, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't really do a fake news on anything else except politics, right? I haven't seen a mainstream media outlet say that Virat Kohli didn't score a century that day, Harbhajan Singh scored a century. बट आई हैव सीन मेनस्ट्रीम मीडिया सेइंग के पाकिस्तान में ये हुआ है, उसने अटैक किया है, उसने वो किया है, एंड इवन लाइक रशिया स्प्रेड इट, हिलरी क्लिंटन मेल, एंड लाइक इवन लाइक इन अ ब्रॉडर ग्लोबल पर्सपेक्टिव एज वेल. So like uh, like I don't know, like what Zishan is saying is, and what I advocated as well, that probably the only way to stop this is probably, or stop at least getting people to be influenced by it that much that they are, that harms other people or themselves by a thing, by understanding a thing that's completely false, is to teach cynicism. It's to teach, it's to teach kids that, okay, not everything you see you should trust me, but don't trust but with a pinch of salt. So like that, ultimately that's something that boils down to. Do you have,
Yeah,
do
this
you have
thing
anything to say about the role of to boil Zishan
yeah,
what were
so
you saying?
this false information, this started to increase during pandemic. I mean, it started to increase drastically because if you see, there was an ad by Bollywood stars. They came up uh, with a foundation which actually produced it, and this advertisement, solely focused on, you should not forward what you see, because there is a trend in WhatsApp groups in India, whether it be a college group or whether it be a family group.
Hmm.
People, forward whatever they have. I mean, there is,
Hmm.
every morning you will see a fake message roaming around within a WhatsApp group. And
Yes.
this is not the only case which has been there in India, but also in, in some developed countries too. For example,
Hmm.
in USA, when the election was, US election was on peak. So
Yep.
because of that, WhatsApp had, introduced this forwarded many times option, where you can,
Yeah, yeah,
see that particular message has been forwarded too many times. So these are
yeah.
some few things which has, camouflaged this issue
Hmm.
amongst the people.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
And also
Anurag, what do you think?
not only not only fake news. So some of the messages that are forwarded are not logical facts, but there are some hearsay. Okay, he said this, or he went
Hmm.
there and this was the happen. This was some incidental, but
Hmm.
it's not the general, and that is somehow like stories are much more engaging rather than facts. But
Hmm.
it's sad, but it's true, and that's how
Yep.
this news propagates in that way. Okay, I have heard that that happened over there, but that might be a singular incident, but that does not say that this is happening.
Exactly.
So
Uh, yeah. So let's cut off this discussion. We are having a pretty serious, more serious discussion than I thought that we would, but it's good. It's probably good. Let's cut off this discussion with some humor. Especially like, let's go to this. I found top 10 searches when you in Google, when you see what do you get when you see fake news, when you type fake news. Seems
fake
like
news generator, you have a generator also.
that's the first thing
You have
that
a
comes.
template, yeah.
Fake news generator. So
That's what,
people are
it's a big
regularly
industry.
generating. It's not like it's a people have made an application. I'm kind of curious. What do you see
check yeah,
when you
check
get there?
this, check this
Just
once.
like
There is a whole
break your
industry working behind that.
Break
yeah, it's break your own news.
one news.
Breaking news generator. Fake news and
Meme
alternative
generator. Look,
facts generator. Yeah,
memes. They are all around.
they're all around. That's it. That's
Let's
right.
see.
Great.
Is there any like top fake news of 2021 or something like that?
Dude,
Top
I
fake news of
heard that
2021.
this news that Honey Singh was dead. There was a picture saying Honey Singh did a crash. Crashed. He got
Yeah, 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 yeah,
accidented.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and also there was that news coming in WhatsApp that in fruity industry, I mean in a factory, one drop of blood of HIV positive
Yeah, yeah.
guy
Uh,
is there in fruity, so nobody knows in which tetra pack the virus is going around. So people were,
Avoid
so
fruity.
scared, they avoided fruity for a quite long period of time. Even my mom sent it to me. I was like, what?
in my
Who told
hometown,
you that?
all the shops stopped selling that at that time.
Fruity.
Even
Yeah.
I went to buy. Well, don't drink. The shopkeeper is telling me, don't drink this. So stupid.
Fake news name generator, fake news templates. They have a template.
Hey, what is
It's
synonym?
very,
Well, fake
yeah,
news.
very, very,
Why
very. Yeah,
Why is
very
someone
soothing to
searching
know.
about fake news
Especially.
synonym?
Oh,
Probably they are
that's I
looking
think
for
they
a.
just yeah they probably are like us trying to give a Facebook status but trying to seem classy. Like
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I can't
Let's
use fake news in the same sentence twice. So
This news
fake
about
news synonym.
Budweiser beer that the one employee used to pee for 10 years in the Budweiser
yeah,
factory.
yeah, yeah.
This was also a hoax.
এটা ওই গোলদারের আগে রুমে আগে যে থাকতো সে
Ha.
so there is this
But that was
misinformation
true.
that was misinformation, inaccurate news, propaganda, media
Propaganda.
manipulation, propagandizing UK with an S, propagandizing US with a Z. There are two separate words for it. Spoof news,
Spoof news.
deception,
Deception.
deception, cock and bull story. I think that's going to fake news. What was the last thing that we missed? Fake news definition Oxford. Nice, nice, sensible guys. Fake news detection. Fake news quiz. A fake news quiz. Is there a fake news quiz? Where can we just like play a fake news quiz? We can have this. Okay, let's do a quiz. Privacy, fuck you. NASA is installing internet on the moon. True or fake? Audience,
It's
anyone
not.
who is watching, like comment. Yeah, but true or fake? Oh, it's not coming.
It's not
अरे
coming. It's
बोल
not.
भी तो আমি देखते पाচ্ছি যাই হোক হ্যাঁ তো I think I have to share the screen again. Wait. Stop screen. Share. Are you seeing it now?
NASA is installing internet on the moon. Obviously
Yeah,
fake. It's obviously fake.
it's a Guardian. Fake. I think it's real. What is Zishan?
I guess it could be real because the
Could
internet,
be real.
everybody needs internet.
But I think it should be fake. Yeah.
Real.
We are into the double loop spoof. Like everything like this should
Yeah.
be fake. Because I thought it should be fake, but then this is really happening. NASA 4G network.
Good for NASA.
Good for NASA, but
चलो
I think
वहाँ तो
the
वाईफाई
contract
मिल जाएगा.
I think the contract should have gone to Geo.
वहाँ
This is
वहाँ
disrespect
पे भी
to
जियो दंदनादन.
this is disrespect to Modi's friendship. A university banned the use of capital letters to avoid scaring students. This is real or fake?
I want
Because
it to be real.
yeah, even I want it to be
I
real.
guess
Like
it's fake, but I want it
fake,
to be real. Yeah,
fake, fake.
fake. चलो
We are
2
two
हो
on
गया
two
मेरा.
guys. Some real guidance why university was misreported to seem more dramatic. It's important to check a story multiple sources to get the full picture. Thank you, Arjun, for this dose of advice. Couple in California named baby with emoji. What do you mean name
It,
baby with emoji? Like, do they
it's
have?
real. People are
That
crazy,
could be. Yeah,
basically.
people are crazy.
Yeah,
Look at
but like
Elon Musk, and there could be many more people like that.
Elon Musk is doing this thing. Elon Musk is saying that he will solve congestion by
Uh,
building, digging up a very tiny hole underground and connecting Los Angeles with California or San
Yeah.
Francisco, something
The
like
name
that.
of the
So,
company is Boring Company.
name of the thing is, there's this group on Facebook constantly making fun of Elon Musk, and there's के उधर पे like मैं मीम देख रहा जेखाने like it's saying के did Elon Musk know about metros? you have to be you have to
You
stop
know
congestion.
there was this Sardarji in BMC. Uh, Oh my God! If he hears about this, then so this guy, he had an idea that Mumbai has local trains, right? So he was saying why to build metro and why to work on last mile connectivity. We can simply have flyovers over the metro, and we can run another local trains over that. So he had a
Yeah.
simple solution. Ki,
It's a good
there
solution.
is a one stack
Decent.
of local trains. These are very successful. We'll go above that and build another, a flyover, and it will be another local metro. So we asked, what about that? After that, so he told that another floor. It will go upwards like that.
See, the
So
thing
there
is
are,
that they say no, that ideas does not matter, but
yeah,
execution matters. This is the thing. The ideas
Ah,
that Elon Musk has is no good than your Sardarji in your office. But it's
yeah.
just
hey,
that he
dude,
is making
please.
it
But it's
spending so much
uh,
money.
that seemed a bit stereotypical, but
Yeah.
true in this case. But anyway, so no, yeah, that's the
He,
thing. Like at least the guy does at least the guy is not that powerful enough to
Uh,
execute his action, because that would be really, that's what Elon Musk is doing, and that's what it's like, Tughlaq sort of thing all around.
but it's
The
yeah,
cop.
well, what is the answer for this? The
What is that?
couple,
The Onurag real or fake? Real,
I think real.
real. Zishan real.
real.
Fake.
Oh,
Satirical news site. Okay, okay, go on.
yeah,
What are you
yeah.
judging people in California? Like, they're not. They're slightly stupid. Not that. 8-year-old
I
girl
was
pulls,
expecting it.
expecting. Even I was expecting. Like, but I was confused about the fact that names baby with emoji. Okay, the baby's name is emoji, or like have they named like baby's name face palm or something like separate, like a particular emoji. So 8-year-old girl pulls medieval sword from lake. Hmm.
Dude,
This
seriously.
looks like somewhere
But
in
why?
Canada.
Like it could be a real story. I mean, why would should we?
Is the medieval
It,
sword
it,
euphemism for Bala's dick? Something like that.
I don't know. I mean,
it's not a
No,
too
but
big story to be a fake news.
yeah, yeah.
I think
I don't know. It
it's
doesn't seem
fake.
there's much narrative there,
Uh,
even if it's true.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
Like even no satirical narrative. Like, I don't see any humor to
Mhm.
it as well. Like, Zishan,
It's real,
you're thinking. I think it's
I
real.
think it's fake.
I think it's fake. So should we go for fake or real?
real,
I'll go for fake.
Real. Well, we'll go with
real.
real. This really
Dude,
happened. A good way to check the news
was
story is
what
real.
she
So
must
that's
be a
what
great
we.
swimmer.
Yeah.
In 8 years old, she'll be going to like Olympics in
Mhm.
2026. Sure.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's full medieval sword from like. Uh, look at how this is foreign media. This is that's what happening. This really happened. That's what Guardian says about it. A good way to check if the news story is real is to check who is reporting it. This story was reported by the Guardian, BBC, and many others. Fuck you, Guardian. Like, okay.
Yes. This
Guardian is
is the
saying
thing I was
themselves can
talking about, that
can
you
believe
have
us.
that reliable resources there. International media, some media is still reliable, but unfortunately it is losing their trust among
Yeah,
people,
but
which is very scary.
Yeah, I think that I have read
why
something
don't they
on
report
Reddit
about colonialism? Bol.
about this Guardian on Reddit. So Reddit is some kind. I somehow prefer Reddit than other
Yeah,
places.
yeah,
You
yeah, yeah,
get
yeah.
opinion. You get balanced opinion from different people. So they are saying that the Guardian is like it's not run by any corporate house or something else. So they are much more
Hmm.
independent and they can actually
Hmm.
and even though they are earning much less, but they make it a point that to only do good research and then uh,
Yeah,
report.
yeah. Technically, I take my fuck you to Guardian back.
Mhm.
But anyway, German street covered in chocolate after leak from chocolate factory. It's like a movie.
Fake.
Fake. German street covered in chocolate. Isn't it? Aren't the chocolate factories in
Fake.
Belgium or something?
Uh,
Should be or Switzerland. Even. Fake.
it's
Delicious
real.
accident really happened. The ton of chocolate leaked from a chocolate factory in Westionen, covering the pavement. This was reported by the Washington Post and other resources. How, and
ऐसा हमारे साथ
okay.
क्यों नहीं होता है?
There was one story na, where Indonesia, the police people busted a great amount of weed and they burnt it. The whole town was. I
Yeah,
wonder it
yeah,
was a
Yeah,
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 fake news
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
like yeah, way to do it. Yeah, we should have been there. Like something.
I'm not sure whether was that a fake news or a real one.
Maybe a real one. I'm not sure, but yeah,
I never
who knows,
rechecked
man?
it. I wanted
Who
it to
knows?
be true.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I heard the recent story, the same story for Assam very recently, like probably even 1 or 2 months back. That Assam police have caught like 20 kgs of marijuana and they have or more, and then look, they've burnt it. Seems like a good solution. And that was the ending of the headline.
अरे even in those web series, no, that ये Pablo Escobar वाला Narcos.
Narcos, yeah.
Yeah. So DEA basically catches all the weed and then they burn it. I mean, they burn whole. It was in
Sensible.
season 4, I think. Narcos season 4. They burn the whole farm.
yeah, the Mexico one, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see the scene 4 one. So did what happened? Did they say how the whole city got hired and high and all?
No, it was away from the city. It was in the
It
hills
was
and all.
actually away from the city, so
Okay, no one got high. Damn. Anyway,
Such a waste.
waste.
such a waste. You have to be resourceful, you have to be sustainable. For sustainability, you have to be efficient. Anyway,
So
school bans
what is the next one?
school bans parents from sports for bad behavior. Parents for bad behavior.
That should be. Parents are so
Mm,
stupid sometimes.
real or fake? I go with real.
I go with fake. No one, the parents are paying them.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
won't
might
allow.
be
I'll go with fake too.
fake, fake. Real, this
Little.
is real. A
Oh,
school parents banned parents from attending sports day after becoming too competitive and threatening staff. If you are unsure about a story, check if it's being reported by a trustworthy. अच्छा, हाँ, ठीक है, ठीक है. Okay. Spinach is taught how to send emails. If this is real, why isn't my light doing photosynthesis right now? Like, if spinach can send emails, was this behind Papa's strength or something? Papa.
but it's fake, I think.
This is fake.
Fake. This is fake. This should
Yeah.
be fake. This should be fake.
If this is true,
Hey,
Whoa! What is the website you are looking at? I mean, is it
This
serious?
the Guardian. It's the Guardian. turns out at the end, entire thing is fake. Everything is opposite. And like, yeah, you trusted me. This viral story seems too good to be true, but was reported by trustworthy news sources, but it doesn't say how and why. I'll have to check it. I'll have to check. You guys just
That is what we want to know.
peanuts send emails. Regardless, I think uh, oh fuck. Seems like MIT has done something that I don't know, install something in the soil that can relay back information through an email. Sure. Anyway,
Yeah, it is written
okay.
that in simpler terms, when the spinach roots detect the presence of
Yeah.
nitroaromatics in groundwater, a compound often found in explosives like landmines, the carbon. Okay, okay, okay. It will intrigue that to send a mail through a
Our
camera. Send it.
okay.
it nice. Okay. That's some way you can say it. Gorilla learns to listen.
Ah,
This
it's possible.
it's possible. They're pretty intelligent, right? They're pretty intelligent. I'm guessing. Learns to knit.
Yes.
Real.
Look at the nose, like
Fake,
Ritik.
fake, fake. Gorillas are impressive, but they are not that impressive. They haven't mastered knitting yet.
Yeah, this is simple algorithm. I
No,
think.
but like,
It's
but
like
like that
you
this
answered correct in the last question, and the next question will be like it will be simple, but
no,
it make you
But
overconfident.
I get it, but look at this point that 10 years ago, if someone had said this to me, I would have probably said it's fake right away. That, hi, how do Kolias can knit? It requires
Mhm.
so much, like it requires thumb and all that to do and everything. But now I have seen too many videos where orangutans are smoking or wearing sunglasses, and I'm saying that, hey, maybe they are smart enough, and like that's how we are saying how it changes our perception. We also say, this can be real. Gorilla can do this thing. Turns out not impressive enough. Onrak, he was in.
No, 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 sorry, I was lost in some
Oh.
side.
You got 3 out of 8. Guys, that is not good. That doesn't bode well for us preaching about fake news in society.
Hey,
We
we are not
are,
preaching anything. We
no,
should
but
come
yeah,
here to
kind
educate people. Yeah.
of,
No,
kind of guy.
it's the test of your general knowledge. It's not about fake or I mean
Uh,
true.
Yeah. It's kind of no, but like as I said on the last one, like how do you perceive things also changes based upon
Yeah,
other
if
things
I
you have
see
heard.
the
So like
first thing what we did was that when we saw that spinach is able to send emails, we went
yeah,
to the internet, we searched about it. So this is
yeah,
what I was talking about.
good point. Saved our asses.
Yeah, but
Acha,
this is a very
mota,
fun, fun thing to do. I mean,
yeah,
in
that's
this
a
way
really
we
fun
can
thing to do,
learn a
right?
lot of things.
Anyway, guys, it's been good. আমি এর শেয়ারটা বন্ধ করি আগে। Great to talk to everyone, people who are watching. আমরা কথা বলছিলাম ফেক নিউজ এন্ড সোসাইটি নিয়ে, তারা যারা এখন জয়েন করছো can rewind. We're closing this almost now. You can rewind and see our whole words on it. We had fun talking about fake news and
Yes.
their impacts on society. Any
Yeah,
parting
so,
thoughts?
we should give an ending, suggestion regarding that this
hey,
because
we we are not.
it is really important, uh, to yeah, Anurag, what you were saying?
Nah, should we be preachy? Like we are just having a
Hmm.
discussion. But like
Hmm.
if we suggest something, I think the motive of this conversation is just to have the conversation. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That
but go
that's
ahead
it.
with
Definitely.
Most of the
go ahead,
things we had
but
done.
go ahead with your suggestion. Sorry to interrupt. I just
No,
want
no,
that
no.
anyone, yeah,
I was
anyone who
not
is
talking
watching
about
that
suggestion.
and thinking that okay, they will be getting some instructions from us. That shouldn't be that way.
Right,
It's just
right.
to have the conversation. Yeah.
True. So at the end of the day, I think what Onurag is suggesting is suggest yourselves. What you
Yeah.
need to do. We have had a lot of conversation amongst ourselves. Do watch the video. Do like, share, and subscribe. We are Dreamland. We do a lot of documentaries. The links are all in the description. You can go ahead and check them out. Do like, do share, do comment, especially because we need to know how you are perceiving it. So feedback is important, guys. Do that, and especially if you want to support us, subscribe. Take care till the next time.
And don't
Bye bye.
spread fake news.
And don't spread fake news.
Be aware. Do your research.